Well, well, yes, I am. I'm having a baby with my boyfriend, Stefon Diggs.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. How are you feeling about that? And that this will be baby number 4 for you, Cardi.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm actually I'm excited. I'm happy. I feel like I'm in a good space. I feel very strong. I feel very powerful that I'm doing all this work, but I'm doing all this work while I'm creating a baby. Me and my man were very supportive of each other. It's like, can I just say it on my own time? Like, I'm not hiding.
Yeah, on my own time.
Like on my own time. Yeah, it's like on my own terms. Let me close some deals first. You know what I'm saying? Let me close some deals first. And it's like, you know what? You don't really want to say right away that you're pregnant. Like, it's like, let me see a couple of more sonograms. Let my baby be healthy. And you know what's so crazy? I haven't till today. Matter of fact, I have to tell them this week. Before this interview come out, I haven't even told my parents.
No way, Cardi.
I haven't told my parents. They just be looking at me like,
Cardi. Wait. Back up. Why haven't you told them?
Because I'm scared of them. I'm very scared of my parents.
You're scared of your parents?
I'm very scared of my parents.
Do they like Stefon? Do they like him?
Yes, they like him.
They like him.
They do like him. They do like him.
Something tells me they'll be happy for you because you have children. He has children. Were you thinking, you know, the way we feel about each other, we both want to have a child together?
Yes. I mean, you know, everybody kept telling me like I should have fun.
Yes.
And we had a little bit of too much fun, and now I'm here. We had too much fun. And yeah, we're very excited. We're very
and you're
happy.
both
we talk
happy.
about it all the time.
And you're both happy about it.
Yeah.
Offset just set the internet on fire. And this time, the bomb he dropped could completely unravel Cardi B's entire fairy tale storyline. Out of nowhere, Offset exploded with claims so wild, fans don't even know what to believe. According to him, Cardi's brand new pregnancy announcement with NFL star Stefon Diggs isn't what it seems, because Offset swears he's the real father of her baby. And y'all, that's only the beginning, because he's also accusing Cardi of masterminding a full-blown scheme to trap Stefon, cover up the truth, and secure her bag. The industry is buzzing with one messy question. Is Cardi playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers? Or is this the ultimate scandal waiting to blow up in her face? Offset just threw gasoline on Cardi B's entire fairy tale and struck the match himself. Out of nowhere, he went off with a claim so outrageous, it has the internet completely spiraling. According to Offset, Cardi's brand new pregnancy with NFL star Stefon Diggs isn't what it looks like. He says the entire narrative is a smokescreen because he's actually the real father of her baby. Yes, you heard that right. Offset isn't just bitter, he's boldly stepping forward with what he calls the truth, and the industry is shaking. But Offset didn't stop there. He's painting Cardi as the mastermind of a trap so messy it could go down as one of the biggest scandals in hip-hop history. In his version of events, Cardi strategically used Stefon as a cover-up, carefully curating the image of a fresh romance and a picture-perfect pregnancy while burying the real paternity drama deep under the surface. And now that he's talking, people are wondering if Cardi's entire storyline has been nothing but smoke and mirrors. The reactions have been explosive. Blogs are running with it. TikTok is dissecting timelines. Fans are pulling receipts. And Twitter is in complete chaos, trying to piece the puzzle together. Is Offset bitter and desperate for attention? Or is he sitting on a secret that could expose Cardi's entire game? And if there's even a shred of truth to what he's saying, the bigger question becomes, is Cardi really pulling the strings in one of the boldest baby trap plays the industry has ever seen? Because if Offset's telling the truth, this isn't just about a messy breakup or a rebound relationship. It's about Cardi potentially securing her bag, protecting her image, and rewriting the narrative in real time. But who's really getting played here? Offset, Stefon, or the fans who thought they were watching a love story unfold? After Offset's bombshell, it's almost hard to remember the carefully crafted image Cardi B was putting out just days ago. Let's rewind to the big reveal. The moment that was supposed to silence all the whispers. Sitting across from Gayle King, Cardi finally let the secret slip that fans had already been buzzing about for weeks. She was glowing, smiling from ear to ear, and the cameras captured every second of her excitement. With her hand resting on her stomach, she proudly announced that she and her boyfriend, NFL star Stefon Diggs, are expecting a baby together. It was the type of moment meant to shut down speculation and reframe the narrative. Gayle congratulated her, the audience clapped, and Cardi played the part of the strong, empowered woman stepping into a new chapter. She talked about feeling powerful, about being in a good space, about balancing her work while creating life at the same time. It was polished, it was emotional, and it was the exact kind of headline Cardi wanted to own. But let's be real, by the time she sat down with Gayle, most fans already knew. The streets had been talking, blogs had been dissecting, and eagle-eyed fans had already caught the tea weeks before. From paparazzi snaps to carefully cropped Instagram posts, people noticed the slight curve under her designer fits. Even her court appearances had fans whispering, with photos circulating that showed what looked suspiciously like a baby bump hiding beneath her outfits. And here's where the shade comes in. Because instead of just letting the truth live, Cardi did what Cardi always does. She tried to play games with the internet. She went so far as to post a video wearing a fake baby bump, acting like she was trolling the rumors, when in reality, the joke was on her. Fans saw through it instantly, calling her out for trying too hard to fool people when the evidence was already undeniable. So while her sit-down with Gayle was framed as a joyful announcement, for many it felt more like the end of a poorly kept secret. Cardi wanted the world to believe this was her big reveal, but by then, everyone had receipts and suspicions lined up. And that's the first crack in her perfect narrative, because when you've been denying, trolling, and pretending, by the time you confirm the truth, people can't help but wonder, what else are you hiding? The thing about secrets in Hollywood is simple. No matter how carefully you try to hide them, the truth always finds a way to slip through the cracks. And for Cardi B, those cracks started showing long before her sit-down with Gayle King. Paparazzi shots, social media sleuths, and even her own fashion choices told a different story than the one she was trying to sell. It started small, grainy paparazzi photos of Cardi running errands in oversized sweats, fans zooming in and asking, "Wait, is that a bump?" Then came the staged appearances where she tried to mask her growing belly with designer coats and carefully draped fabrics. But the internet is undefeated, and fans were quick to notice the subtle changes. Her walk, her body language, even the way she posed for photos. The real turning point came when Cardi stepped out for court over that lingering 2018 case. Instead of people focusing on the legal drama, all eyes locked on her outfit. She walked in draped in white, but it wasn't the fashion that had everyone talking. It was the undeniable curve beneath the fabric. Cameras flashed, clips went viral, and suddenly the conversation wasn't about the courtroom at all. It was about whether Cardi B was secretly hiding a pregnancy in plain sight. And instead of just letting the rumors fade, Cardi leaned into denial mode with one of the boldest stunts we've seen in celebrity trolling. She actually posted a video wearing what looked like a fake baby bump, laughing it off and making it seem like the fans were just reaching. But if anything, that only poured fuel on the fire. People weren't convinced. If anything, it made the timeline questions even louder. Because here's where the timeline starts looking messy. If Cardi was already showing in those early court appearances, when exactly did this pregnancy begin? Was it during her rebound romance with Stefon Diggs? Or while things with Offset were still messy behind the scenes? Fans started connecting dots, lining up dates, and scrolling through old posts trying to figure out if Cardi's story was adding up or if something wasn't matching. So while she wanted her Gayle King reveal to feel like a triumphant new chapter announcement, by the time she got there, the damage was already done. The cracks were wide open, the speculation was raging, and the internet wasn't just asking if Cardi was pregnant. They were asking whose baby it really was. And that's a question that's only getting louder now that Offset has entered the chat. Now, let's talk about the man at the center of this storm, Stefon Diggs. On paper, he's the dream upgrade, an NFL star with money, fame, and the kind of spotlight that matches Cardi's. But peel back the surface, and Stefon's reputation is far from squeaky clean. In fact, for a lot of fans, Cardi didn't level up. She walked straight into the same mess she swore she left behind with Offset. See, Stefon has a history that's been public for years, and it's not pretty. Even his own teammates have gone on record joking, and not in a flattering way, that they would never let their sisters date him. When the men who know you best are warning women to stay far away, you already know the track record speaks volumes. And the receipts don't stop there. Stefon has been tied to multiple women in just the past year alone, with rumors of him juggling relationships and sliding in DMs while publicly smiling with someone else. The baby mama drama surrounding him is its own saga. Reports say he's fathered multiple kids within a very short time frame, 2 or 3 just in the past year, with whispers that a 4th woman is carrying twins. That's not just messy. That's an entire reality show waiting to happen. Now, here's where the irony cuts deep. Cardi left Offset because of infidelity, because of the constant humiliation of being tied to a man who couldn't stay faithful. She went public about her heartbreak, about her strength in walking away, about finding peace and focusing on her kids. But fast forward, and she's now proudly announcing a pregnancy with a man whose reputation makes Offset look like a choir boy. Stefon might be richer, he might be fresher, but when it comes to loyalty, the internet is saying Cardi may have traded one cheater for another, maybe even worse. And this is exactly where the rivalry begins to heat up. Offset knows Stefon's reputation. He sees the headlines, the baby mama drama, the cheating allegations. So when he throws out that bombshell claim that he is the real father, it's not just about paternity. It's about ego, about pride, and about exposing Stefon as the guy who got played in front of the whole world. Offset versus Stefon isn't just a battle for Cardi. It's shaping up to be a battle of credibility, of status, and of who's really holding the power in this triangle. And if we're being honest, the mess writes itself. Because on one side, you got Offset, the ex-husband with receipts, baggage, and a history of never letting go. On the other, Stefon, the so-called new man whose reputation is already clouded with cheating, drama, and side pieces. And right in the middle, you've got Cardi B, trying to control the narrative while the internet wonders if she's just repeating the same cycle all over again. And just when it looked like the internet had picked its sides, Offset did what Offset always does. He jumped right in and blew the whole thing up. At first, he came in smooth, denying everything. On IG Live, in comment sections, even in subtweets, Offset made it clear he's not the father. He laughed at the rumors, told fans to stop playing with his name, and even hinted that Cardi was just trying to keep herself in the headlines by dragging him into a new relationship. But Offset can never keep the same energy for long. Within days, sometimes within hours, he flipped the script completely. Now he was the one demanding DNA tests, insisting that if Cardi wanted to be real with the fans, she should prove the truth once and for all. One moment he's saying, "That's not my kid." The next, he's telling anyone who will listen that he's owed a paternity test. The contradictions had the internet eating it up, because every time Offset spoke, the story only got messier. Then came the comments, screenshots of Offset allegedly dropping messy one-liners under fan posts, cryptic emojis, and shade that seemed aimed straight at Stefon Diggs. On one hand, he'd act like he was above it all. On the other, he couldn't resist taking shots that hinted he knew something Cardi didn't want out there. And of course, it didn't stop at comments. Leaked texts began making the rounds, showing Offset supposedly sending late-night messages to Cardi, saying things like, "You know that's mine? Stop fronting for the cameras." Whether the texts were real or not, they added gasoline to the fire, because now the narrative wasn't just about paternity. It was about whether Cardi and Offset were still secretly tangled up while she was parading around with Stefon. Cardi, being Cardi, wasn't about to let Offset control the story. She started clapping back in the most Cardi way possible, loud, unfiltered, and armed with her own receipts. On Twitter, she hinted that she had screenshots and timelines that would shut Offset down completely. In one now viral post, she wrote, "Don't play with me. I got the dates lined up and the math don't lie." She even threw in a thinly veiled jab about Offset being too busy with other women during the window when the baby was conceived. And that's when things really spiraled. Fans started choosing sides. Team Offset, Team Cardi, Team Stefon. Memes flooded Twitter. TikTok detectives started making timelines, zooming into old Instagram stories, analyzing travel dates, even matching outfits to figure out who was where and with who when this baby was allegedly conceived. It wasn't just a gossip story anymore. It was full-on internet court, with Cardi and Offset dragging each other into the witness box. The chaos was undeniable. Offset couldn't stay consistent, Cardi couldn't stay quiet, and Stefon was left looking like the man caught in the crossfire. And if you think this was already wild, wait until you see how Stefon finally breaks his silence, because that's where this love triangle explodes into a full-on war. By now, it's clear this drama isn't just about paternity. It's about power, pride, and most importantly, money. And when it comes to Offset, the money motive might be the biggest crack in his story yet. Because behind the flashy chains and the luxury cars, Offset has been quietly drowning in financial drama for years. Insiders say he's got a dangerous love for gambling. High-stakes poker tables, dice games that run late into the night, even sports betting that's allegedly put him into the red more than once. And when you've got multiple kids, expensive habits, and a lifestyle to maintain, those losses add up quick. Then there's the child support. Offset has kids with multiple women, and each of them comes with obligations he can't just brush off. Rumors say he's been late on payments more than once, even facing legal threats if he didn't get his account straight. Pair that with Cardi officially filing for divorce. And suddenly Offset isn't just losing his wife. He's losing the woman who's been quietly keeping the lights on. Because let's not forget, Cardi was the one holding the financial weight in that marriage. She wasn't just buying Birkin bags and showing off on Instagram. She was securing homes, making investments, building savings accounts, and making sure her kid's future was locked down. When Offset's money was up and down, it was Cardi who steadied the ship. She was the breadwinner, the investor, and the safety net all rolled into one. So when she walked away, Offset didn't just lose a partner. He lost his financial cushion. And that's where this paternity claim starts to look less like heartbreak and more like strategy. By tying himself to Cardi's pregnancy, even if it isn't his child, he's keeping himself tethered to her narrative. He's inserting himself back in her spotlight, back in her pockets, and back into a storyline that guarantees he won't be forgotten. But here's the twist. Offset, being Offset, doesn't want to look like the one begging for help. So instead, he's trying to flip the script and paint Cardi as the gold digger. In his world, she's not a boss securing her family's future. She's a woman who jumped from him to Stefon Diggs for the money, clout, and security of another powerful man. By throwing shade at Cardi's motives, Offset's trying to distract from his own. It's the oldest trick in the book. Accuse her of what you're guilty of, so people don't look too closely at you. And the sad part? It's working. The internet is split. Some fans are saying Cardi's just leveling up, securing her bag with Stefon, while others are convinced Offset is bitter and broke, using the baby as leverage. Either way, the money motive has shifted the narrative. This isn't just about who the father is. It's about who's paying, who's playing, and who's really winning in this love triangle. And if you thought it couldn't get messy, just wait, because the next chapter isn't about money. It's about loyalty, betrayal, and the receipts that could flip this entire story on its head. If the internet loves anything more than drama, it's receipts. And right when people thought this love triangle couldn't get any messier, the bloggers and online detectives pulled out the ultimate weapon, screenshots. It started with whispers on gossip blogs, claims that Offset and Cardi weren't as separated as they wanted fans to believe. At first, it sounded like the usual rumor mill chatter. But then came the so-called proof. Screenshots of alleged late-night DMs, texts supposedly sent from Offset to Cardi, saying things like, "You know I'm still yours," and "Stop playing house, you already know what it is." The kind of messages that make you wonder if this breakup was ever really clean. From there, things snowballed. One blogger swore they had footage of Offset sneaking into the same hotel where Cardi was staying during a girl's trip. Another dropped timestamps showing that both Offset and Cardi posted from the same city. just hours apart, despite claiming they weren't in touch. Fans started stitching together timelines, comparing Instagram stories, even pointing out the reflection of a chain in Cardi's mirror selfie that looked suspiciously like Offset's. And the biggest bomb? Alleged texts leaked by a smaller blogger that showed Cardi arranging a late-night link with Offset just weeks before her pregnancy became obvious. The messages were blurry, the names were cropped out, but the internet didn't care. They ran with it, convinced that Cardi had been double-dipping between her ex-husband and her new man. That's when the blurred timeline started looking less like a conspiracy and more like a possibility. If Offset and Cardi really were sneaking around while she was already being spotted with Stefon Diggs, then the big question becomes unavoidable. Could Offset actually be telling the truth? Because suddenly, his demand for a DNA test didn't sound like just bitterness or clout chasing. It started to sound like something a man says when he knows there's at least a chance the baby is his. And that possibility alone has the internet spinning in circles, debating if Cardi's Gayle King announcement was the full truth or just the version of the story she wanted people to believe. And the longer Cardi stays quiet about these so-called receipts, the louder the noise gets. Is she ignoring the rumors because they're false? Or is she staying silent because she knows any denial could be ripped apart by the next leak? One thing's for sure. In this saga, the receipts always find their way out. And if Offset really has more tucked away, we haven't even seen the worst of it yet. At this point, the drama isn't just about who the father is. It's about why this baby even matters so much in the first place. Because according to Offset, this whole pregnancy isn't about love at all. It's about strategy. Offset's been whispering, hinting, and flat out saying that Cardi is running the oldest play in the book, the baby trap. In his version of events, Cardi saw Stefon Diggs as her clean slate, a rich, young NFL star with money, clout, and a reputation that could wipe away the Offset baggage. And what better way to lock that down than with a baby? A baby that would tie them together forever, no matter what happens with the relationship. For Offset, this isn't about jealousy, it's about image. He's painting Cardi as the woman who left him because she was tired of being embarrassed, only to rush into the arms of another notorious cheater and try to secure her spot by having his child. It's not about love, it's about legacy, money, and the optics of looking like she leveled up. And here's where the internet comes in, because social media has been ruthless. For every fan congratulating Cardi, there's another dragging her for not being able to keep a man. The comments are brutal, people pointing out the irony of leaving Offset for cheating, only to get with Stefon, who's allegedly done worse. Memes have gone viral showing Cardi playing musical chairs with men who all have the same reputation. It's the kind of internet roast that sticks, because deep down, fans are questioning if Cardi really broke free from the cycle, or if she's just repeating it with someone new. But here's the kicker, the looming marriage rumors. Ever since Cardi's Gayle King announcement, speculation has been swirling that Stefon is about to propose. Some blogs claim he's already shopping for rings. Others are convinced it's all staged, part of a bigger PR move to rebrand Cardi as the happily in love, soon-to-be married woman who finally upgraded after Offset. So while Offset is painting her as a schemer, social media is roasting her as desperate, and Stefon is keeping suspiciously quiet, the bigger picture looks complicated. Is this really a love story? Or is it a high-stakes game of image, money, and control, where a proposal, a ring, and a baby bump are all part of the strategy? Because if Offset's allegations are even halfway true, then this pregnancy isn't just about family. It's about power. And if the internet is right, then Cardi might not be building her fairy tale. She might just be building another trap. And after all the chaos, the Gayle King announcement, the paparazzi photos, the leaked texts, the baby trap allegations, we're still left with the one question that could end this entire saga in seconds: the DNA test. Offset keeps screaming for it, the internet keeps begging for it, and Cardi keeps sidestepping it. Until that test happens, everything is up in the air. Is Offset bluffing just to stay relevant? Or does he actually know something Cardi and Stefon don't want exposed? And that's what makes this mess so addictive. Because the next chapter could go in 100 different directions. If Cardi caves and takes the DNA test, we're We're looking at either Offset being vindicated in front of the whole world or exposed as the bitter ex who cried wolf. If she refuses, the court of public opinion is going to eat her alive, with rumors running wilder than ever. And let's be real, if this ends up in actual court, the child support, the public feuds, the receipts flying back and forth, it'll make their divorce drama look like a warm-up round. One thing's for sure, the story isn't slowing down anytime soon. Every day brings a new leak, a new subtweet, or a new angle from bloggers who swear they've got the inside scoop. And if Offset really does have more receipts stashed away, we haven't even hit peak chaos yet. So now we gotta ask you, the jury of the internet, do you believe Offset? Or is this just another clout-chasing stunt from a man who can't stand to watch Cardi move on without him? Drop your thoughts below, because the DNA test might give us the facts, but right now your opinions are running the show.